Drone unveils wall, a human feet, visible from above. Imagine standing on a ridge at dawn, the air crisp and cool, as the first golden rays of sunlight spill across an endless stretch of stone winding over mountains, valleys, and distant horizons. The Great Wall of China emerges from the morning mist like a living dragon, weaving its way across the landscape, a symbol of strength, endurance, and human ambition. This is not just a wall. It is a story written in stone, a testament to centuries of history, labor, and the desire to protect a civilization. Few places on Earth can stir the soul like this colossal wonder, and few journeys leave such a lasting impression. Stretching over 21.0 kilometers, the Great Wall is not a single structure, but a series of fortifications, towers, and passages built over dynasties. It began more than 20 years ago, with the earliest sections constructed under Emperor Qin Shi Huang in the 3rd century BCE. The purpose was simple, yet monumental: to guard against invasions from northern tribes and to assert the strength of a unified China. Over time, the wall grew longer, stronger, and more intricate, especially during the Ming Dynasty, when watchtowers, fortresses, and barracks were added. Today, it stands as one of the most extraordinary human-made achievements, visible not only from the earth, but said to be seen from the heavens. Walking along its ancient stones, you can almost hear the echoes of soldiers who once patrolled these paths. Imagine the watchtowers filled with sentries scanning the horizon for movement, the bonfires ready to be lit as a signal of warning, and the endless footsteps of workers who toiled under the harsh sun and freezing winds to create this monument. The wall is more than stone and mortar. It is sweat, sacrifice, and vision carved into the earth itself. Every section of the Great Wall offers a different experience. In Beijing, the Badaling and Mutianyu stretches are the most famous. Their restored paths allowing visitors to walk in comfort while still feeling the grandeur of the past. Badaling, with its broad walkways, has welcomed emperors, world leaders, and millions of travelers who wish to see history up close. Mutianyu, with its lush forests and rolling hills, provides a more serene, almost poetic encounter, where the wall seems to vanish into the horizon. For those seeking raw authenticity, the Jianghu and Jinshanling sections remain wild and rugged, with crumbling stones and steep climbs that whisper of centuries gone by. These areas remind us that the Great Wall is not only a tourist attraction, but also a living ruin, shaped by time and nature. What makes the wall truly remarkable is how it mirrors the terrain it crosses. It winds over jagged mountains, snakes through vast plains, and even stretches into the desert, adapting to every challenge nature posed. Standing on one of its towers, looking out across the rolling hills and sweeping valleys, you cannot help but feel small in comparison to the immensity of what human hands achieved here. The scale is staggering, and the beauty is humbling. But the Great Wall is not merely about defense or architecture. It is also a symbol of China's cultural identity and resilience. It represents unity in the face of division, strength in times of vulnerability, and vision that stretches beyond a single lifetime. To touch its weathered stones is to connect with generations who lived, fought, and dreamed here. Each brick carries the weight of history, and each view carries the spirit of a civilization that shaped the world. Visiting the wall is also a sensory experience. The crunch of your footsteps on stone, the cool breeze against your face as you climb higher, the vast silence broken only by birdsong or the wind. All of it creates a feeling of awe that is hard to put into words. And when you pause, look around, and realize how far the wall stretches, disappearing into distant ridges, it leaves you breathless. You are not just seeing a monument, you are witnessing the endurance of human vision. At sunset, the wall transforms again. The golden light bathes the mountains in fiery hues, and the stones glow with warmth, as if they are alive. Shadows stretch across the valleys, and the wall seems endless, a ribbon of history winding into eternity. It is in moments like this that you understand why the Great Wall is one of the 7 wonders of the world, because it is not just about what you see, but what you feel. The Great Wall of China is a journey through time, a walk across centuries, and an encounter with the very essence of human determination. It is where history and nature collide, where myth and reality blend, and where every visitor leaves with a sense of wonder that words can never fully capture. Standing here on the stones of the Great Wall, you are not just looking at the past, you are part of a timeless story that continues to inspire the world. Begin with the sound of temple bells and the sight of cherry blossoms drifting in the breeze, immersing the viewer in Japan's cultural soul. Close your eyes and imagine stepping into a city where every street feels like a gateway into another century. Wooden tea houses line narrow lanes, crimson torii gates stretch endlessly into forested hills, and the sound of temple bells drifts softly through the air. This is Kyoto, the timeless heart of Japan, a place where tradition and serenity still breathe amidst the rhythm of modern life. If Tokyo is Japan's futuristic face, Kyoto is its soul, an eternal reminder of elegance, spirituality, and culture. For more than 1,000 years, Kyoto was the imperial capital of Japan. Between 794 and 1868, emperors, aristocrats, poets, and monks walked these very paths, shaping a legacy that survives to this day. The city became the center of Japanese culture, from tea ceremonies to geisha traditions, from Zen gardens to classical theater. Every corner of Kyoto whispers history, and every shrine and temple invites you to pause, reflect, and embrace a slower rhythm of life. At the heart of Kyoto's beauty are its temples and shrines, over 2,000 of them. Among the most iconic is the Fushimi Inari Taisha, famous for its thousands of vermilion torii gates that form a winding tunnel up Mount Inari. Walking through them feels like entering another world, one where time bends and you find yourself moving between the realms of the sacred and the earthly. The gates glow with sunlight filtering through the trees, and every step carries you deeper into Kyoto's spirit of devotion and resilience. Equally captivating is Kinkakuji, the Golden Pavilion, a Zen temple whose top floors are covered entirely in gold leaf. Sitting by the still waters of its pond, you see the temple's golden reflection shimmering like a dream. In spring, cherry blossoms frame it in delicate pinks. In autumn, fiery red maples set it ablaze with color. In winter, snow turns it into a glowing jewel amidst white silence. Few places on earth capture beauty so perfectly in every season. For a glimpse of Japan's imperial heritage, the Kyoto Imperial Palace and Nijo Castle reveal the grandeur of ancient power. The palace grounds, with their sweeping gates and manicured gardens, transport you back to the days of emperors, while Nijo Castle's ornate interiors and nightingale floors, which chirp like birds to alert guards of intruders, show how art and security merge seamlessly in history. These are not just buildings, they are living museums of Japan's story. But Kyoto is not only about majestic landmarks, it is also about quiet, intimate spaces. Zen gardens like those at Rionji invite meditation, where carefully placed stones and raked gravel symbolize oceans and islands, allowing the mind to wander freely. Bamboo groves in Arashiyama sway gently in the breeze, creating a symphony of whispers as sunlight filters through the towering green stalks. Walking here is a spiritual experience, where every rustle reminds you of nature's harmony. The Gion district is where Kyoto's traditions come alive after dusk. Wooden machiya houses glow with lantern light, and if you are lucky, you might catch sight of a geisha or maiko in their elaborate kimonos, walking gracefully to evening performances. These women are not just performers but living guardians of Japan's refined arts, dance, music, and conversation passed down through centuries. The air here feels enchanted, as though the past lingers, unwilling to let go. Kyoto is also deeply tied to the art of tea. The Japanese tea ceremony, known as chanoyu, was perfected here, where every movement is deliberate, every gesture a meditation. Sitting in a tatami mat room, sipping matcha from a handcrafted bowl, you realize that tea is not simply a drink, it is an expression of peace, respect, and mindfulness. It is a ritual that captures the essence of Japanese culture in a single, quiet moment. And then, of course, there are the seasons. Kyoto wears them like a kimono, each one more beautiful than the last. Spring brings sakura blossoms, turning parks like Maruyama and the Philosopher's Path into rivers of pink petals. Summer festivals light up the city with lanterns and fireworks. Autumn transforms the hills and temples into fiery landscapes of red, orange, and gold. Winter, with its snow-dusted shrines, brings a hush of tranquility. No matter when you visit, Kyoto always reveals a different face, always invites you to fall in love again. Yet what makes Kyoto truly timeless is not only its beauty, but its soul. It is a city that honors the past while embracing the present. Bullet trains may connect it to Tokyo in just a few hours, but once you step into Kyoto's streets, the pace slows, the noise fades, and you feel yourself breathing in rhythm with centuries of tradition. It is this balance between history and life, between stillness and motion, that makes Kyoto unforgettable. When you stand at the top of a shrine, lanterns glowing softly in the twilight, and the city lights sparkle below, you realize why Kyoto is the heart of Japan's tradition. It is not only a city, it is a living story, written in temples and gardens, in festivals and tea ceremonies, in the footsteps of those who walked here long before us. And as you walk those same paths, you too become part of Kyoto's timeless tale. Start with sunrise over the ivory white marble, glowing in golden light, evoking the timeless romance behind the world's most iconic mausoleum. At dawn, when the first rays of sunlight touch the banks of the Yamuna River, a vision begins to emerge from the mist. Slowly, like a dream crystallizing into reality, the ivory white domes of the Taj Mahal reveal themselves glowing softly in the morning light. It is said that there are few sights on earth as breathtaking as this, a monument so perfect in form and so powerful in meaning that it transcends time, culture, and borders. The Taj Mahal is not just a building, it is a poem written in stone, a love story etched forever into marble, and one of humanity's greatest creations. The story begins in the 17th century with the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan. He ruled one of the wealthiest and most sophisticated empires of his time, a man of great vision and ambition. Yet, despite his political might, it was his heart that defined his legacy. His beloved wife, Mumtaz Mahal, was his closest confidant, his advisor, and the love of his life. When she tragically died during childbirth in 1631, Shah Jahan was devastated. Overcome by grief, he vowed to build her a resting place unlike any other, a structure so magnificent that the world would remember their love for eternity. What rose from that promise is today known as the Taj Mahal. Built over more than 20 years, with the labor of over 20 artisans and craftsmen, this mausoleum is a masterpiece of Mughal architecture. From the perfectly symmetrical design to the intricate inlays of precious stones, every detail is a testament to devotion. The structure itself is a balance of geometry and artistry, with its grand central dome, 4 minarets standing guard at the corners, and delicate calligraphy tracing verses from the Quran across its surfaces. Approaching the Taj Mahal is an experience unlike any other. You walk through a grand red sandstone gateway, and as you step inside, the vision unfolds before you, reflected perfectly in the long, narrow pools of the surrounding gardens. The effect is mesmerizing, a palace seemingly floating on water, untouched by time. This isn't mere architecture. It is a carefully orchestrated illusion, a harmony of earth, sky, and stone designed to stir the soul. Step closer, and the details begin to reveal themselves. The marble walls shimmer in different shades throughout the day, pink in the morning, golden at sunset, and silver under the moonlight. Up close, you see exquisite Petra dura inlays, floral patterns crafted from lapis lazuli, jade, turquoise, and carnelian, each gemstone cut and fitted with incredible precision. The artistry is so fine that even today, centuries later, visitors marvel at how human hands could create such delicate perfection. Inside the mausoleum lies the cenotaph of Taj Mahal, with Shah Jahan's place beside her after his death. The real tombs rest below, hidden from view, in accordance with Islamic tradition. In the soft, filtered light, the chamber feels hushed, sacred, and eternal, a place where love itself seems to have taken physical form. The silence here is profound, as if even time pauses to pay respect. Yet the Taj Mahal is more than just a love story. It is also a symbol of cultural fusion. The design blends elements of Persian, Islamic, and Indian architecture, creating a style that is uniquely Mughal. The gardens, based on the concept of paradise in Islamic tradition, represent an eternal Eden, a place where love and faith unite. For centuries, this monument has inspired poets, artists, and travelers, each finding new meaning in its beauty. Perhaps the most magical moment comes at night, under the light of a full moon. The Taj seems to glow with an otherworldly radiance, as if carved from starlight itself. It is no wonder that countless legends have grown around it. Some say Shah Jahan had planned to build a second Taj, a mirror image in black marble, across the river, but fate never allowed it. Others whisper that artisans who worked on the Taj were forbidden from ever creating something so magnificent again. Whether true or not, these stories only add to its mystique. Today, the Taj Mahal is one of the most visited landmarks on Earth, drawing millions of travelers from every corner of the globe. Yet, despite the crowds, when you stand before it, a quiet stillness takes hold. You realize you are witnessing more than history. You are standing in the presence of something eternal. The Taj is not just Shah Jahan's tribute to Mumtaz. It is humanity's tribute to love itself. A reminder that even in the face of loss, beauty and devotion can create something everlasting. As you leave and glance back one final time, the marble monument glows against the horizon, timeless and unshaken. And in that moment, you understand why people call it not just a wonder of India, but a wonder of the world, a place where love, loss, and art came together to create perfection. The Taj Mahal is not only seen with the eyes, it is felt deeply in the heart, echoing across centuries as the ultimate symbol of eternal love. Open with emerald waters dotted with thousands of limestone islands, shrouded in mist like a mythical landscape from legend. There are places on this earth that seem born from legend, where nature paints with such extravagance that reality feels like myth. Halong Bay, in northern Vietnam, is one of those places. As the sun rises over the emerald waters, hundreds upon hundreds of limestone islands rise from the mist, their jagged peaks softened by lush green forests. It is said that no two are alike, each shaped by time and tide into unique silhouettes, some resembling animals, others towering like sentinels. To sail into Halong Bay is to step into another world, where myths breathe and nature whispers its ancient secrets. The name Halong itself means descending dragon, a nod to the legend that surrounds its creation. According to Vietnamese folklore, dragons once descended from the heavens to defend the land from invaders. As they flew over the coast, they spat out jewels and jade, which transformed into the very islands we see today. The dragons chose to remain in the bay, protecting it forever. When you glide between the limestone karsts, their sheer cliffs rising dramatically from the water, it is not hard to believe that such beauty could only be born from a celestial tale. Halong Bay stretches across an area of over 1,500 square kilometers, boasting nearly 20 islands and islets. This extraordinary seascape has been recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it is easy to see why. Each island seems to tell its own story. Some hide mysterious caves adorned with stalactites and stalagmites that sparkle in dim light like nature's own cathedrals. Song Sod Cave, known as the Cave of Surprises, lives up to its name with vast chambers that open suddenly, leaving visitors in awe. Dao Go Cave, filled with colorful rock formations, carries with it stories of ancient battles and heroism. The bay is not only about landscapes, it is also about life. Floating fishing villages dot the waters, where families live in houses perched on rafts, sustained by the sea. These communities, with their bright boats and colorful homes, embody resilience and simplicity. Watching children paddle small boats to school or fishermen cast their nets at dawn reminds us that Halong Bay is more than a spectacle. It is a home, a living world woven into the rhythms of water and stone. One of the most enchanting ways to experience Halong Bay is aboard a traditional wooden junk boat. As the sails unfurl and you drift across calm waters, the scenery unfolds like a moving painting. Islands pass slowly, their reflections shimmering on the glassy surface. The quiet lapping of waves against the hull, the cry of distant seabirds, and the golden glow of sunset combine to create a sense of timeless peace. At night, under a sky thick with stars, the bay feels even more magical. Lanterns on the boat cast soft light across the water, and the silence is broken only by the occasional splash of a fish. Beyond its beauty, Halong Bay is also a place of adventure. Kayakers weave through hidden lagoons and narrow grottos, discovering secluded beaches where the only footprints are their own. Rock climbers test their strength on towering cliffs, rewarded with panoramic views at the top. For divers, the bay's underwater world offers coral reefs and marine life, a reminder that Halong's wonders extend below the surface as well. Every turn, every cove, offers a new secret waiting to be uncovered. The magic of Halong Bay changes with the light. In the morning, mist cloaks the islands, making them appear like floating phantoms. By midday, sunlight transforms the waters into brilliant shades of emerald and turquoise. As evening falls, the bay turns golden, and the silhouettes of islands stand stark against the fiery sky. Each hour brings a new face of Halong, each moment a new memory carved into the heart. Yet Halong Bay is not untouched by time. With its popularity has come challenges preserving its fragile ecosystems, protecting its waters, and respecting the traditions of those who call it home. Efforts are underway to ensure that this wonder remains as breathtaking for future generations as it is today. And perhaps that is the truest tribute we can give to the legend of the descending dragon, to honor and protect the jewel it left behind. When you stand at the bow of a boat, watching limestone cliffs rise like ancient guardians, and the endless expanse of islands stretch before you, it feels as though you are traveling not just through space, but through time and myth. Halong Bay is not a place you simply visit, it is a place you enter, body and soul, where nature and legend merge into something unforgettable. To sail through Halong Bay is to understand why it is one of the world's greatest wonders. It is a living painting, a whispered legend, and a sanctuary of beauty all at once. And when you leave, the vision stays with you. Emerald waters, soaring cliffs, and the eternal embrace of a dragon that descended to guard its people. Begin with the rising sun casting light over endless stone towers, a sacred masterpiece that whispers of empires long gone. Before the first light of dawn breaks over Cambodia, shadows stretch across a vast plain, where jungle and stone embrace each other in silence. Then, as the horizon glows with the first strokes of gold and crimson, the towers of Angkor Wat rise into view, majestic, symmetrical, and eternal. Reflected in the still waters of the lotus-filled moat, the silhouette is so perfect that it seems less like architecture and more like a vision conjured by the gods themselves. This is Angkor Wat, the world's largest religious monument and a place where history, spirituality, and mystery converge. Built in the early 12th century by King Suryavarman II, Angkor Wat was originally dedicated to the Hindu god Vishnu, a symbol of divine kingship and cosmic order. The scale of the temple is almost impossible to comprehend. Covering over 400 acres, it is a city within a city, a living universe carved in stone. Every tower, courtyard, and gallery was designed with precision, echoing the cosmic order of Mount Meru, the sacred mountain at the center of Hindu mythology. Standing at its gates, you are not just entering a temple, you are stepping into an ancient vision of the universe itself. The approach to Angkor Wat is nothing short of awe-inspiring. A long sandstone causeway stretches across a wide moat, leading you to the grand entrance. Along the way, carvings of Nagas, mythical serpents line the balustrades, their coiled bodies guarding the path to the sacred world. As you pass through the monumental gateways, you are enveloped by an atmosphere of grandeur, where every detail seems designed to remind you of the power of gods and kings. Inside, the temple unfolds in layers, each one pulling you deeper into its mysteries. The galleries are decorated with bas-reliefs that stretch for nearly half a mile, telling stories from the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, and scenes of celestial battles. The carving of the churning of the ocean of milk is perhaps the most famous, depicting gods and demons working together to churn the sea and release the nectar of immortality. These stone panels are not just decoration, they are storytelling at its finest, history and myth preserved in eternal detail. At the heart of Angkor Wat rises the central quincunx of towers, representing the 5 peaks of Mount Meru. Climbing the steep staircases that lead to the upper levels is both a physical and spiritual journey. Each step feels like an ascent from the earthly realm into the heavens. When you finally reach the highest terrace, the view takes your breath away. The sprawling jungle stretching endlessly in every direction, and the temple's towers standing proudly against the sky. It is here that the scale of Angkor Wat reveals itself fully, a testament to both human ambition and divine inspiration. But Angkor Wat is only one jewel in the vast Angkor complex. For centuries, this area was the heart of the Khmer Empire, which at its height ruled much of Southeast Asia. The jungle around Angkor hides dozens of temples, each unique, each with its own story. Ta Prohm, left partially consumed by strangler fig trees, feels like a temple caught in the embrace of nature itself, its crumbling walls entwined with roots that seem to grow straight out of legend. Bayon Temple, with its 200 giant stone faces smiling serenely from towers, offers another vision enigmatic, haunting, and unforgettable. Walking through these ruins, you feel both the triumph and fragility of human endeavor. Once, Angkor was a thriving metropolis, home to nearly 1 million people, supported by advanced irrigation systems and grand avenues. Today, much of it lies silent, reclaimed by the forest. The jungle may have overtaken its streets, but the spirit of Angkor endures, written into the stone and carried in the whispers of the wind. What makes Angkor Wat so extraordinary is not only its scale and beauty, but its timelessness. It is a place where cultures converged, where Hindu traditions gave way to Buddhism, and where empires rose and fell. Yet the temple still stands, weathered by centuries but undefeated, as though defying time itself. Pilgrims still come to pray, monks still chant in its corridors, and travelers still stand in awe as the sunrise paints its towers in fire and gold. Perhaps that is the true power of Angkor Wat. It is not just a relic of history, it is alive. It continues to inspire wonder, devotion, and reflection. It is a reminder of the heights humanity can reach when vision and devotion come together, and of how nature and time eventually reclaim even the greatest of achievements. As the sun sets, the temple's sandstone walls glow warm with fading light, and shadows lengthen across the moat. The sound of cicadas rises from the jungle, and a calm silence settles over the ancient stones. In this moment, you realize that Angkor Wat is not just a monument to gods or kings, it is a monument to the endurance of the human spirit, a masterpiece that binds past, present, and future in its timeless embrace. Start with wind howling across snow peaks, the highest mountains on Earth standing as both a challenge and a sanctuary. High above the clouds, where the air is thin and silence reigns, the Himalayas rise like the very bones of the Earth. Snow-capped peaks stretch endlessly across the horizon, their jagged silhouettes piercing the sky in defiance of gravity itself. Among them towers Mount Everest, the tallest of them all, standing at 849 meters, a summit so high that it seems to touch the heavens. To gaze upon Everest is to feel humbled, small in the presence of nature's ultimate masterpiece. It is no wonder the Himalayas are called the roof of the world, for here, earth and sky meet in their most dramatic embrace. The Himalayas are more than just mountains. They are the guardians of Asia, stretching across 5 countries and shaping the climate, culture, and spirituality of the region for millennia. They feed the great rivers of Asia, the Ganges, Indus, Mekong, Yangtze, sustaining billions of lives downstream. But beyond their physical might, the Himalayas carry a spiritual aura that has drawn pilgrims, poets, and seekers of truth for centuries. For Hindus and Buddhists alike, these mountains are sacred, home to gods, sages, and mysteries that defy comprehension. Mount Everest, known as Sagarmatha in Nepal and Chomolungma in Tibet, holds a particularly profound place in human imagination. To the Sherpa people, it is a goddess, revered and respected, never to be taken lightly. To climbers, it represents the ultimate challenge, the pinnacle of endurance and determination. Since Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay first reached the summit in 1953, thousands have attempted to follow in their footsteps. Some succeed, standing atop the world with tears in their eyes, while others are claimed by the mountain's unforgiving nature. Everest is not conquered, it is respected, a test of spirit as much as of strength. Yet, the Himalayas are not only for the climbers. Their valleys and foothills hold treasures of beauty and culture that touch every soul who visits. In Nepal, the Khumbu region offers breathtaking treks past glacial rivers, prayer flag-draped bridges, and monasteries where monks chant ancient mantras. In Bhutan, the land of the thunder dragon, cliffside temples like the tiger's nest seem to float above the valleys, embodying the union of nature and spirituality. In northern India, places like Ladakh and Himachal Pradesh reveal vast, high-altitude deserts where monasteries cling to cliffs and yak caravans traverse the ancient Silk Road. Everywhere in the Himalayas, there is a sense of stillness, of timelessness. The sound of the wind sweeping across the ridges, the prayer wheels spinning in mountain villages, the sight of locals walking with loads balanced gracefully on their backs. It all feels eternal, as though life here has followed the same rhythm for countless generations. This is a world where simplicity and resilience define existence, and where survival itself is an act of harmony with nature. The natural beauty of the Himalayas defies imagination. Crystal-clear glacial lakes shimmer like sapphires against the white snow. Rhododendron forests burst into color during spring, while alpine meadows bloom with wildflowers in the short summer. At sunrise, the peaks ignite with hues of orange and pink, glowing as if lit from within. At night, under skies free of pollution, the stars burn brighter than anywhere else on Earth, and the Milky Way stretches endlessly across the heavens. Here, you truly feel you are standing closer to the universe. But the Himalayas are not without fragility. Climate change threatens their glaciers, the lifelines of Asia's great rivers. Tourism and overclimbing on Everest have left scars that remind us of the delicate balance between admiration and exploitation. These mountains, so mighty and eternal in appearance, are also vulnerable, reminding us that even Earth's greatest wonders require our respect and protection. And yet, despite these challenges, the Himalayas endure as symbols of awe and inspiration. They are not only mountains to be seen, but experiences to be felt, whether in the burning lungs of a climber ascending into thin air, the whispered prayers of monks in hidden monasteries, or the quiet gasp of a traveler seeing Everest for the first time. They are landscapes of both struggle and peace, testing the limits of human endurance while offering profound serenity to those who seek it. Standing in the shadow of Everest, you feel a connection to something far greater than yourself. The mountain does not care for triumph or failure. It exists in its own eternal rhythm. And yet, it challenges you to reflect on your place in the world, on what it means to strive, to endure, and to dream. Perhaps that is why Everest, and the Himalayas as a whole, have captured humanity's imagination for so long, not as places to conquer, but as places that reveal the depth of the human spirit. As the sun sets and paints the snow peaks in shades of fire and gold, the Himalayas seem to whisper their timeless song, a song of resilience, of reverence, of eternity, They remind us that the world is vast, that beauty can be humbling, and that some wonders are meant not to be owned or altered, but simply to be admired and respected. The roof of the world stands tall, unchanged and unshaken, waiting for those who dare to look up and listen. Open with rice terraces glowing green at dawn, waves crashing on black sand beaches, and temples glowing with flickering candles. The moment you step onto Bali, a wave of enchantment sweeps over you. Known as the Island of the Gods, Bali is a land where myth and reality blur, where spirituality intertwines with daily life, and where every sunrise feels like a blessing from the heavens. The air carries the fragrance of frangipani and incense. The streets are alive with vibrant offerings to the gods, and the horizon is framed by emerald rice terraces, volcanic peaks, and endless beaches kissed by turquoise waters. It is no exaggeration to say that Bali is one of the most magical places on Earth, a destination that captivates not just your eyes, but your soul. At the heart of Bali's charm is its unique culture, deeply rooted in Balinese Hinduism. Unlike any other place in Indonesia, Bali radiates a spiritual aura that defines its landscapes, its people, and its rhythm of life. From small villages to bustling towns, shrines and temples decorate every corner, each adorned with intricate carvings and offerings. Rituals are a daily practice, not reserved for grand festivals alone. Every morning, locals carefully prepare kanang sari, small palm leaf baskets filled with flowers, rice, and incense placed at doorsteps, altars, and even on vehicles as symbols of gratitude to the gods. This devotion creates an atmosphere of serenity and respect, reminding visitors that here, life, inseparable from spirituality. Bali's landscapes are equally captivating, offering contrasts that feel almost surreal. The Central Highlands are home to rolling rice terraces that ripple across the hills like green waves. Tagalalang and Jatalui, both UNESCO recognized, are breathtaking examples of this harmony between humans and nature. Farmers, following ancient irrigation systems known as subak, tend these fields with techniques passed down through generations, creating a living canvas of sustainability and beauty. Towering above the island stands Mount Agung, the sacred volcano believed to be the dwelling place of the gods. Its silhouette dominates the skyline, an awe-inspiring presence that locals both revere and fear. Nearby, Mount Batur offers visitors a chance to hike under the stars, reaching its summit just as the first rays of dawn illuminate the horizon. The sight of the sun rising over the volcanic caldera, with mist swirling across the crater lake, is one of the most unforgettable experiences Bali offers. The coastline tells another story. To the south, Bali boasts lively beaches like Kuta and Seminyak, where surfers ride endless waves and nights come alive with music and celebration. In contrast, the northern and eastern shores reveal quiet black sand beaches, fishing villages, and coral reefs teeming with marine life. In Uluwatu, dramatic cliffs plunge into the sea, crowned by temples that watch over the waves. The legendary Kikak fire dance performed at sunset here is a spectacle of rhythm, storytelling, and energy that leaves audiences spellbound. Then there is Ubud, Bali's cultural heart. Nestled among rice fields and jungle, Ubud is a sanctuary for art, wellness, and creativity. Its streets are lined with galleries, yoga studios, and cafes where tradition meets modernity. Sacred Monkey Forest, with its moss-covered temples and curious long-tailed macaques, feels like stepping into another world. Around Ubud, waterfalls cascade through lush valleys, inviting travelers to swim in crystal-clear pools hidden among the trees. It is here that Bali's artistic soul thrives through dance, painting, wood carving, and music that echo the island's timeless identity. But Bali is not only about scenery, it is about experiences that linger in memory. Watching traditional legong or barong dances, where every movement tells a mythological story, connects you with the island's legends. Learning the art of Balinese cooking, with spices and herbs bursting with flavor, brings you closer to the island's heartbeat. Taking part in a purification ritual at Tirta Impul, where holy spring waters flow into pools believed to cleanse body and spirit, offers a sense of peace that words cannot describe. For many, Bali is also a place of transformation. Its reputation as a center for wellness is well-earned. Yoga retreats, meditation sanctuaries, and healing therapies draw seekers from across the globe. Here, surrounded by nature and nurtured by the island's calm energy, visitors find not just relaxation but renewal. The island encourages you to slow down, to breathe, to connect with something deeper than yourself. And yet, amidst all this tranquility, Bali remains vibrant and alive. Its festivals are a dazzling display of color and devotion, none more spectacular than Nyepi, the Balinese New Year. On this day, the island falls silent, airports close, streets empty, and even electricity is minimized. It is a day of introspection and stillness, a reflection of Bali's unique philosophy. That balance between noise and silence, joy and peace, is essential to life. The magic of Bali lies not only in its beauty but in its harmony. It is a place where nature and culture, tradition and modernity, the spiritual and the everyday coexist effortlessly. Whether you are drawn to its temples or its beaches, its rice terraces or its volcanoes, Bali has a way of speaking directly to your spirit. It is not just an island to visit, but an island to feel. As the sun sinks into the sea and paints the horizon in gold and crimson, the sound of gamelan music drifts through the air, mingling with the crash of waves and the flicker of temple torches. Bali reminds you that wonder is not always about grandeur. It is about connection, about finding beauty in the smallest rituals, and about embracing a life lived in harmony with the gods, the land, and the people. Truly, the island of the gods is a wonder unlike any other. Begin with the slow reveal of the treasury through the Sikh Canyon, the iconic rose-colored facade carved into living rock. Imagine walking through a narrow canyon, its towering sandstone cliffs rising high above you, their surfaces glowing in shades of red, pink, and gold as the sun filters through the narrow gap. The air is hushed, your footsteps echoing softly against ancient rock. Then suddenly, the canyon opens, and there it is, the treasury of Petra, an awe-inspiring facade carved directly into the rose-red stone. The sight is breathtaking, almost unreal, as if you've stumbled into a secret city hidden from the world. This is Petra, Jordan's crown jewel, one of the greatest archaeological wonders ever discovered, and a place where history, legend, and artistry converge into a masterpiece of human achievement. Petra, often called the Rose-Red City, half as old as time, was the capital of the Nabatean kingdom more than 2,000 years ago. This civilization, skilled in trade and engineering, carved their city out of the cliffs of southern Jordan, creating an oasis of power and culture in the desert. For centuries, Petra thrived as a hub of commerce, connecting trade routes from Arabia, Egypt, and the Mediterranean. Caravans laden with spices, silks, and incense once passed through its gates, enriching the city and its people. What makes Petra extraordinary is not just its scale, but the ingenuity with which the Nabateans harnessed their environment. Through intricate water channels and cisterns, they turned this arid land into a flourishing capital, proof of human resilience and creativity. The most iconic monument of Petra is Al-Khazne, the treasury. Its elaborate facade, adorned with Corinthian columns, statues, and carvings, towers nearly 40 meters high, perfectly balanced between power and elegance. While legends once claimed it hid treasures of ancient pharaohs, in reality, it was likely a royal tomb. Standing before it, one cannot help but feel both humbled and inspired, for this structure embodies the ambition and artistry of a civilization determined to leave its mark on eternity. But the treasury is only the beginning. Deeper within Petra lies a sprawling city carved into stone. The street of facade showcases rows of monumental tombs, each doorway larger than life, hinting at the wealth and importance of those buried within. The Roman-style theater, carved into the hillside, could seat thousands, a testament to Petra's role as not only a commercial hub but also a cultural one. Walking through these ruins, you feel as though the whispers of the past surround you, echoing stories of traders, rulers, and citizens who once animated these stone streets. Climbing higher, one reaches the monastery, or Aldir, one of Petra's largest and most impressive monuments. Its massive facade dwarfs those who stand before it, yet its details remain exquisite, blending simplicity with grandeur. The climb to the monastery, often involving hundreds of steps cut into the rock, rewards visitors not only with the monument itself but with sweeping views of the rugged Jordanian desert. Here, the silence is profound, broken only by the wind, a silence that carries the weight of centuries. Beyond the monuments, Petra is alive with symbolism and spirituality. The Nabateans were deeply religious, blending influences from multiple cultures into their worship. Temples and altars dot the landscape, honoring gods and ancestors alike. Even the very act of carving their city into the cliffs reflects a reverence for nature and permanence, as though they sought to merge their civilization with the eternal stone. Today, Petra stands as one of the new 7 wonders of the world, drawing visitors from across the globe. Its preservation is not only a matter of protecting history, but of safeguarding a reminder of what humanity can achieve when vision meets determination. Yet, what strikes visitors most is not simply the scale of Petra, but its atmosphere. Walking through the Sikh, emerging to see the treasury, or standing before the monastery, one feels a sense of awe that transcends time. It is as if Petra is not merely a ruin, but a living testament to the endurance of beauty, culture, and human spirit. As the sun sets, Petra transforms. The rose-red cliffs deepen into crimson and purple, and lanterns light the pathways. The famous Petra by night experience, where hundreds of candles illuminate the treasury, creates a surreal, almost mystical atmosphere. The flickering glow against the carved stone, accompanied by the haunting sounds of Bedouin music, makes you feel like you've stepped into a dream. Petra is not just a place, it is an encounter with eternity. It embodies the brilliance of a people who defied their harsh environment, the majesty of architecture that merges seamlessly with nature, and the mystery of a city hidden for centuries from the outside world. For every traveler who stands in its shadow, Petra leaves a mark, reminding us that time may weather stone, but true wonders never fade. Start with aerial views of turquoise lagoons, coral reefs, and overwater villas floating above crystal-clear seas. Beneath the surface of turquoise waters lies a world so vibrant, so alive, and so vast that it seems almost otherworldly. This is the Great Barrier Reef, the largest coral reef system on our planet and one of the most extraordinary natural wonders ever created by nature. Stretching over 300 kilometers along the northeastern coast of Australia, it is so immense it can be seen from space. But its true beauty lies not in its size, but in the kaleidoscope of life that thrives within it. From delicate corals to massive whales, from playful dolphins to thousands of species of fish, the reef is a living, breathing masterpiece. An underwater city more dazzling than any built by human hands. The Great Barrier Reef is often described as the rainforest of the sea, and for good reason. Its ecosystem is among the richest and most diverse on Earth, home to over 500 species of fish, 400 kinds of coral, 40 varieties of mollusks, and countless marine creatures that, together, create a dazzling display of biodiversity. As you dive beneath the waves, the water becomes a window into a dream. Brightly colored parrotfish nibble at corals, sea turtles glide gracefully past, and schools of tiny fish shimmer like silver clouds. Giant clams with shells glowing in iridescent blues and greens sit quietly on the ocean floor, while reef sharks patrol the depths, symbols of both power and balance in this delicate world. At the heart of the reef are its corals, living organisms that build vast structures over thousands of years. These tiny polyps, working together, have created an ecosystem so complex and interdependent that it sustains millions of lives. The coral formations themselves are breathtaking towers, caves, and gardens of color stretching endlessly beneath the surface. To swim through them is to enter a cathedral of nature, where every crevice hides a surprise. Every turn reveals a new scene of wonder. But the reef is not only about its beauty, it is about connection. For millennia, it has sustained indigenous Australian communities, providing food, spiritual meaning, and a bond with the sea. For scientists, it is a treasure trove of knowledge, offering insights into marine biology, climate change, and the resilience of ecosystems. For travelers, it is an experience like no other, whether snorkeling above its shallow gardens or diving deep into its blue abysses. The reef awakens a sense of awe and humility that few places on Earth can inspire. Among the most spectacular experiences is visiting sites like the Ribbon Reefs, the Whitsundays, or the Cod Hole, each offering glimpses of marine life at its most vibrant. At Lady Elliot Island, manta rays with wingspans of several meters glide through the water with breathtaking grace. In the deeper waters, humpback whales migrate through the reef, their haunting songs echoing across the ocean. During nesting season, green sea turtles return to the very beaches where they were born, continuing a cycle of life as old as time itself. Yet the reef also carries a warning. Climate change, rising ocean temperatures, and pollution have caused significant coral bleaching in recent decades, threatening the survival of this fragile ecosystem. Images of ghostly white reefs serve as reminders of the reef's vulnerability and of humanity's responsibility to protect it. Conservation efforts, both local and global, are ongoing. Scientists are working tirelessly to restore damaged corals. Communities are raising awareness, and travelers are encouraged to engage in sustainable practices to ensure the reef's future. What makes the Great Barrier Reef so powerful as a wonder is not just its beauty, but its fragility. To witness it is to experience something irreplaceable, a reminder of nature's brilliance and its vulnerability. Floating above a coral garden, with sunlight streaming through the water and fish darting in every direction, you realize that this is not simply a place, but a living organism, an interconnected system that has existed for millions of years. Its survival depends not just on nature, but on us. As the sun sets over the coral sea, the water glows with shades of gold and orange, and the reef transforms into a world of mystery once more. Night divers descend with torches, revealing nocturnal creatures that emerge from their hiding places. The reef never sleeps. It breathes. It shifts. It continues its eternal dance of life and renewal. The Great Barrier Reef is more than a destination. It is an encounter with the very essence of life on Earth. It humbles us with its grandeur, inspires us with its beauty, and challenges us with its fragility. To witness it is to understand that some wonders are not carved in stone or built by human hands, but created by the quiet persistence of life itself. It is, without question, one of the greatest treasures our planet has ever known. Open with the glittering skyline rising from the desert sands, Burj Khalifa piercing the clouds, and the city's futuristic ambition on full display. Rising out of the golden sands of the Arabian desert like a mirage, Dubai is a city that defies imagination. What was once a humble fishing village just a few decades ago has transformed into a futuristic metropolis of towering skyscrapers, shimmering glass, and groundbreaking innovation. Here, tradition and modernity collide in spectacular fashion, where ancient souks filled with the scent of spices sit alongside malls larger than entire towns, and where Bedouin culture lives on in the shadow of the tallest building in the world. Dubai is not just a city, it is proof of human ambition, a symbol of what vision, determination, and daring can achieve against all odds. The most iconic symbol of Dubai is, of course, the Burj Khalifa. Soaring 828 meters into the sky, it is the tallest man-made structure ever built, a needle piercing the clouds and commanding the desert skyline. To stand at its base is to feel dwarfed by human ingenuity. To ascend to its observation deck is to gaze upon a view that stretches from the endless desert dunes to the shimmering Persian Gulf. At night, The Burj Khalifa transforms into a canvas of light and color, its illuminated facade dancing with patterns that dazzle the crowds gathered below at the Dubai fountain, where jets of water leap and twist to the rhythm of music. It is a spectacle that captures the essence of Dubai: grand, bold, and unforgettable. But Dubai is more than just skyscrapers. Its coastline, sculpted by human hands, is home to some of the most audacious architectural feats the world has ever seen. The Palm Jumeirah, an artificial island shaped like a palm tree, is visible from space and houses luxury hotels, resorts, and private villas. The World Islands Project, where land has been crafted to resemble the map of Earth, is another testament to Dubai's relentless drive to turn dreams into reality. Here, innovation knows no boundaries. If it can be imagined, it can be built. Yet beneath the glamour and extravagance lies a city deeply rooted in its heritage. The old neighborhoods of Dubai, like Al Fahidi Historical District, tell a different story. Narrow alleyways wind through traditional wind tower houses, and the Dubai Creek, once the lifeline of the city, still bustles with wooden dhows carrying goods as they did centuries ago. In the souks, traders call out their wares gold glitters in the gold souk, while the spice souk is filled with aromas of saffron, cinnamon, and frankincense. These places remind visitors that while Dubai looks to the future, it never forgets its past. The desert, too, plays an essential role in Dubai's identity. Just beyond the glittering skyline lies an endless sea of sand dunes, where adventure seekers embark on safaris, racing across the sands in four-wheel drives, riding camels under the blazing sun, or dining beneath a sky blanketed with stars. Traditional Bedouin hospitality lives on here, with music, dance, and storytelling that connect visitors to the soul of the Emirates. Dubai's vision extends beyond leisure and architecture. It is also a hub of art, culture, and innovation. The Dubai Opera, shaped like a traditional dhow, hosts world-class performances, while the Museum of the Future stands as an architectural marvel, its striking ring-shaped design inscribed with Arabic calligraphy symbolizing hope and progress. Expo 2020, though delayed, showcased Dubai's role as a global crossroads, a place where nations and cultures meet to share ideas and dreams for the future. Food in Dubai mirrors its global character. From Michelin-starred restaurants run by celebrity chefs to street food that reflects the diverse communities calling the city home, dining here is a journey in itself. Traditional Emirati dishes, like mashbouz and lukaimat, are served alongside flavors from every corner of the world, reflecting Dubai's status as a true melting pot of cultures. For many, Dubai represents possibility, the idea that limitations are only temporary, and that with vision, even the desert can bloom into a city of dreams. It is a place of superlatives. The tallest tower, the largest mall, the biggest fountain, the most luxurious hotels. Yet, what makes it truly extraordinary is not just its scale, but its spirit. Dubai is a reminder that humanity is capable of reaching beyond the ordinary, of reshaping the landscape, and of creating wonders that inspire future generations. As the sun sets over the Arabian Gulf, Dubai lights up like a constellation brought down to earth. Its towers shimmer against the night sky, its streets pulse with life, and its spirit radiates ambition. To visit Dubai is to step into the future while still feeling the heartbeat of the past, a wonder not carved by time or nature, but by the sheer will of human imagination. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed exploring Prague as much as I enjoyed guiding you through it. If you found this travel guide helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more beautiful destinations from around the world. Got a favorite spot in Prague? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, safe travels, and see you in the next video.